Hello there guys, girls and everything else, this is Cargo Pants and right now I'm going to show you why Pathfinder 2nd Edition is easier to run and overall better than D&D 5e. Right now just how to get into it is pretty simple. All you really need to do is just go to this website, 2e Aeon PRD, aka Archives of Nephis. So yeah, over here you have everything. You have your ancestries, you have everything. This is pretty much everything that a player needs, and this like character creation plus equipment is all the like over here. These top three cards. Wait, yeah, top three cards over here are for players. Everything lower is for GMs. Although Pathfinder 2nd Edition is made specifically so a GM can also make player characters and make them balance enemies as well. So over here you have my druid named Pyros. You've seen him in the last reaction, I think, to a video. Okay, so let's start a new character. Okay, so first of all, you need to decide on your ancestry. Of course, you can try beginner box, and I really recommend it, but if you want to play normally, then start an ancestry. Sorry for the screaming in the background, my family just heard that I started recording, and so they decided to suddenly become active. First, if you're a player, then first do this. Then first you need to take this. But the first thing that you really need to do is find a game master and a group of between 3 and like 8 players for it to be balanced, because Pathfinder is really on teamwork. So probably go to ChatGPT and just type something that you want if you don't have any ideas. So just type, please give me an idea for a Pathfinder 2e campaign. And this bot will basically tell you something. See, title: Rise of the Blood Queen. The players and members of a small town, the land of Gloria, known for its history of vampirism. The Blood Queen, a powerful vampire who ruled the land for centuries ago, was defeated and imprisoned by a group of powerful adventurers. However, rumors have started to spread that the Blood Queen has returned. It is once again amazing an army of undead. The players hired by the local government to investigate these rumors and stop the Blood Queen before she can reclaim her throne and plunge the land into darkness. Over here, see, you have everything. If you're not sure on anything, you can just literally type it in ChatGPT. It's a useful tool for GMs. Even though GMing is already way easier because of the encounter balancing. You can just go over here and see you have 4 players at level 1, then 1 level 3 creature will be enough of a challenge to be like a moderate challenge to them. You can also try 2 level 1 creatures, and it also should be a moderate challenge because they are like twice as powerful, because there's twice as many of them. So this is like medium difficulty. The highest difficulty is extreme, and it's when everyone is on equal power, so only dice rolls will really determine what will happen. So yeah, back to it. You have a lot of ancestries. So you have common ancestries that are probably the ones that you should choose at the start. There are uncommon ancestries which are all of the cool stuff, and there are also these that are kind of weird. For example, over here you have human that is a horrible example for an ancestry because it doesn't really have anything special. So I'm going to instead show you a dwarf. Ability boost will have constitution, wisdom, and 3, and minus to charisma. So let's make our character a dwarf. Save to local folder. And then you should, though you know you have background over here, then you should think, what kind of role do you wanna fit in? You know, a lot of these classes can fit into one of a few, one of like 4 general roles. First, there is the DPS. There is the single target DPS, which are mostly ranged marshals or overall marshals. Then there are tanks that basically soak up damage, which are also usually the guys that take up the single target DPS. Also, there is the AoE DPS, aka the guy that hits hordes of enemies at once. Usually, that's some sort of spellcaster that has either the primal or arcane spell list. Also, there's the healer that usually the healer slash support that is the guy that basically has usually an occult, primal, or divine spell list, and essentially helps the rest of the party do their job. So yeah, for example, alchemist can fulfill a bunch of roles, but usually is a healer. Let's look at the druid. Depending on your subclass, you will be one of some of these. For example, if you take the wave order, then you will be probably a healer. If you take plant order, the same. But if you take, for example, like wildfire order, or if you take, you know, the animal order or storm order, then you will be probably a DPS. And if you take the wild order, then you will be probably a tank. But wildfire will be the DPS that is multi-target usually. That the storm will be probably single target DPS. And you know that's pretty much it. So let's roll up. Who do we want to play? Let's just play one of core classes. I feel like fighter should be the best option that we have. And now backstory. Well, usually we should try to pick up something that gives us strength as a fighter. So now we think, who was this guy? For example, maybe a grave robber. Yes. Or maybe one of my favorite, a sailor. So this guy was a sailor. So now we think that dwarf was a sailor, and so probably this guy was a sailor and decided to stop sailing after an encounter with a kraken or something that left this guy traumatized, probably. So this guy decided to become an adventurer, to become strong enough to fish this beast one day. Yes, so we have it. We have that. Yeah, now give us our abilities. Okay, so strength, Strength, of course, must be the priority we have. Mm, and then dexterity. Over here we have strength for our attacks and armor. Um, we have constitution for our health and resistance to diseases and stuff like that. Wisdom for our emotional stability, and also better initiative, and dexterity for dodging stuff. So yeah, do that. See, we have given this. If you have at the start, just check mark all of these, and if you have 18, 14, 14, and also 14, and then 10 and 8, then you're doing a good job in character creation. Also, alternatively, this stat may be a 12, and this may be a 10. It will still be a great character, but this is the most optimal for that thing. So see, we have class skill. Of course, we got we got trained in athletics because we were a sailor. So yeah, we can choose acrobatics right now, and yeah, now we have other three skills. Now I will explain what every skill does. Acrobatics, basically, when you're trying to balance somewhere, for example, if you're falling, or if you're trying to like walk on a rope or a slippery thing, then you use acrobatics. Acrobatics is for all of the stretching, crawling, squeezing, and balancing. Arcana is the general knowledge about magic and magical creatures such as dragons. Athletics is your general strength, which basically determines your abilities to jump, your ability to run fast, your ability to swim and climb. And crafting is how well you build stuff. Deception is how well crafting is how well you build stuff, and also how well do you know how stuff is being built, so even like mechanical enemies. Deception, how well do you lie. Diplomacy, how well do you convince people to do stuff for you. Intimidation, how scary are you. Over here we have lore, which is a skill that you can only get via feats and backgrounds. And this skill is a very cool skill because right now everything that you have sailing, to recall about sailing, not only you have that but also the DC, which is the number you need to roll, is lower by 2 or 4, depending on how closely it is related to sailing. Medicine, pretty standard. Healing things and remembering stuff about like mutated abominations and stuff like that, which is a little tease to my homebrew supplement that I'm working on. Occultism, to think about like occult magic and weird stuff that you can explain. For example, like vengeful spirits and curses, and also giant tentacle monsters that sit on the moon. Performance for dancing, making jokes, everything like that you can do on stage and you will get money for that. Religion, to remember about like cleric magic and stuff like that, and also religious cultures. Society, to determine prices and stuff like that, and also have like criminal connections to the underworld or connections to like politicians. Stealth, to just sneak, to usually just sneak around or hide some sort of object. And survival, to general knowledge, to not to resist starvation, and also general knowledge about survival, and thievery, to steal stuff without anybody noticing, or also disarm traps, but you can also use crafting for that. So since this guy is a sailor, this guy will probably know some survival, and I think that this guy should also know society. because he needs to sell the stuff he does. And then let's just give him thievery, because you probably need to do stuff that requires having some sort of sleight of hand, like not really literally thieving, but you know, like making knots also counts as thievery because it's like your fast hands. So yeah, now we have pick heritage, and over here you have common heritages that are just heritages that are specific to a dwarf. You have also uncommon that many can pick, and rare that also work like uncommon heritages, but for example, um, you cannot pick beastkin if you are a mechanical thing, unless you are an android, because then you are a biological mechanical thing. So yeah, let's look at stuff like this, and you can see you can get stuff like this. So over here you become trained in crafting or another skill. You get specialty crafting. So this guy will be pretty useful because right now you get crafting. Yes, sorry that I need to like make my voice louder, but once again my family is starting some arguments just as I started recording for no reason other than to disturb me. This will all of this will just end after I just stop recording. They will just calm down. See over here you have all of the stuff that you can have, and just pick something that sounds cool. Yeah, that one sounds cool, and I can read that this one actually is cool because you know, if you're frightened, then you have minus to stuff like that, and now it sounds like a brave warrior of the seas, so accept. And I have the ancestry feat. And over here I will pick something. Oh, power attack, that sounds cool. So flourish, I can use it only once in a turn. Um, and fighter, because only fighters can use it. And right now, okay, so I deal extra dice. Now when I use when I use power attack. Oh yeah, that's cool. Now we have level 1 character. You can do it way faster, but I just decided to explain stuff, that's why it's so weird, so long. So let me just ask ChatGPT once again. Please give me a name for dwarven sailor. Yeah, that one sounds pretty good. Ironbeard. Yes, very good. Yes, I love submitting feedback. So Grimnal Ironbeard. The one who seeks the Kraken. So yeah, you can basically ask ChatGPT anything to automate the session even further. And over here you have hero points. It's basically just inspiration, but GMs do not forget this and are less selfish with it usually. Now let's pick a weapon. You have 15 gold at the start unless your GM declares otherwise. See, if you create a new character, then you have this. So yeah, give this man a weapon. So for now, we should just give this guy something that is, is pretty cool. So broad spear. It sounds pretty cool. Butchering axe, yeah. That may fit a sailor, I think. Dueling sword. See, all of this, just look at the dice and look at your proficiency, whether or not you have proficiency with it. Fighter has proficiency with everything, so unless you're trying to get like special unarmed stuff, which is basically the stuff that monks use, then you should be fine. You have training in all of the advanced stuff, but you have expert in all the other stuff, which is basically plus 2 to hit, and plus 2 to hit is also plus 2 to crit. So give this man a boarding bike. Yeah. So yeah, now this guy has a really cool weapon, and now we can get to defense right now. So for an armor, then let's give this man some sort of probably heavy armor. Half plate. It's still 18 gold pieces. A split mail. Yeah, just buy this. You know, your GM can allow you to get stuff for free. But let's just give this man a buckler. Yes. And now we should have like 2 silver left. So yeah, we have everything over here. Usually GMs will increase the amount of money, but this is like a starting amount of money. That just exists only for the purpose of fighters not getting a full plate at the very start. You know, so... And also champions, so it won't be too easy at the start. But you know. This will work like this. So basically, for one action you can raise your buckler to just basically give yourself +1 to AC. Sounds cool, right? So once again, just do this and you have your whole character, and if you have a session started, then let's get to something like combat, for example. In combat, for example, let's say there is a one goblin that, for example, on your way to the party, on your way to meet the rest of the party, you went through a pathway. So yeah, before the whole party thing starts, then you jumped off your ship, you docked it, and you went to go to Adventurers Guild to get some, money. So right now, out of nowhere, a goblin attacks. A goblin comes up to you with a knife and tries to get money out of you, and you refuse, or basically just say that you have 2 silver, and this goblin doesn't believe you. So yeah, sorry for my family interrupting yet again. I need to scream that every now and then. I think I should like set it as an alarm or something. Hope you didn't actually hear that. So yeah, once again I have like 15 minutes left. So yeah, this one attacks you. And once again, if you're trying to recall knowledge by society, because it's a humanoid, you can get this. You can do it for one action, but over here, your first action, for example, you roll initiative. Let's say the goblin, since the goblin has perception +2, then let's say that he rolled that well. He rolled that well, yeah, because I'm going to make it easier. So now you roll perception. 10, so yeah, let's say that the goblin decided to just try to frighten you and failed miserably or something. At your first turn, maybe. Or maybe the goblin just decided to, for example, pull out his short bow for one action. Maybe. Or maybe not. Or maybe that goblin just shot 3 times with a short bow. First time was +8, so let's say that's 10 plus 8, that's 18, and it barely doesn't hit you. And other attacks also don't hit you because you have AC of 19. So yeah, pretty cool. Right now, you decide to use one of your actions because you have 3 actions and 1 reaction. That's the most important thing. Because now it's time to learn about actions. For example, over here you have actions. As you see, you have all of this stuff, and if you have like 2 of these cookies, then it uses 2 actions. If you have 1, then it just calls 1. So yeah, you can use stride, move up to your speed just towards the goblin, and then use defeat that we selected at the first level called power attack to hit this guy really hard. So yeah, you have your boarding pike, and you rolled a 17. This goblin warrior has how much? 16, so this is higher, and you hit. Then you roll damage because it's not a critical. If you rolled 26 or rolled a nat 20, then it would be a critical hit. Or just a crit, as we say. But if you rolled less, then you wouldn't hit that guy just like this guy didn't hit you. Also, on the last hit, that goblin, for example, let's say rolled a natural 1, then probably this goblin broke its bow while trying to attack you. So now this goblin doesn't have a bow. For example, that's how it may work. But right now, just deal damage. And so yeah, it would be 14, but you also, because 10, you roll the 10 plus 4, that is 14. And for example, and then you add another d10 to add additional 5, so because you know you double the amount of dice. So you see, you have 19 right now. This goblin had 6 HP. So yeah, let's say this goblin has 6 HP, but behind you, right now you can see us hear us squeak, and now a terrified goblin with a knife is behind you because they were trying to both rob you, and now this guy noticed that you literally just stabs through his friend in crime. So yeah, this guy is terrified, so this guy will try to hit you with a dog slicer. Let's say time this guy hits for 1d6 slashing damage. As this guy's first action. So yeah, it deals you 2 damage. See, you can just move it. Accept. You could actually use a shield block to make your buckler over here defend this. Oh yeah, I forgot to remove it. For your buckler to absorb this damage, which would actually do nothing to the buckler because you have like hardness 3, which means that um, you reduce the amount of damage by 3 and then your buckler takes it. And it was 2 damage, so you can just block it for 3. But you need to have your shield raised first. And as I said, you moved for 1 action and power attacked for 2 actions, so you didn't have any actions left. But you do have a reaction that after this goblin starts to run away from you and leaves, you have attack of opportunity. And you can just roll against this guy. And you rolled a nat 20, okay? Critical hit. Which is basically a normal hit, but you multiply the damage by 2. So normally you would deal 11 damage, but right now it's a crit, so 22. And that poor soul that had 6 HP just got eviscerated. So yeah, that's how it works. I didn't really anticipate it to be a crit, but remember, that goblin has multiple attack penalty, but if you attack once in a round, for example, then second time in a round, then the second time, see, you rolled a higher number, 12, and still got the same result because now the attack has -5. So yeah, that's how it worked. Then you can go to roleplay. You know, for example, you find something peculiar, for example, a peculiar like animal or something, when you are with your party, and then you roll survival to check what is it all about or something. Usually you would roll nature, but I would allow you to roll survival. Or maybe you saw a cool fish and decided to roll sailing lore to remember. You try to, like, for example, climb on a building, and that way. Or for example, you try to jump off a building without breaking your neck, then it's acrobatics. Which is not 1, aka you jump, you break your neck and you're paralyzed until the rest of your life. Yeah, that's how it works. See? Red. So yeah, let's say that the goblin had some sort of magic cantrip and used electric arc. And had electric arc. So, for example, you need to roll, see the enemy spell DC. If your enemy is a spellcaster and has one, like for example Pyros, and then you can just like see spell DC is 26, so you need to roll a 26, or you will be combusted. So yeah, 25 damage to that would most likely kill Grimnal. And yeah, reflex for this. I love democracy. That is just barely a normal failure, okay, full damage, which would completely eviscerate Grimnal and make this guy roll death saves. aka you roll just a d20. If you roll a d20, it's less than 10, you have like dying 1. Not d10. mm, d20 once again. You got it once again and you're dying even more now. So now you need to roll higher than 12. That's a 16 on our roll. That's the first success. That's a 10 on a roll that would just barely fail, and you have dying 3, and then you just, I mean, it increases to dying 4 and you're dead. So that's simple. It only works like that because Pyros is an 8th level character. So for normal enemies, don't worry, as long as you use Pathfinder calculator. So yeah, just one level 1 player versus one level 8. Yeah, see, it's advised that you should not do it like this. You should not even put any party that is level 1 against an enemy that is level 5, that is level 5 or higher, that is higher than level 5. You shouldn't. And remember, if you have a character or something that you have problem with, then just ask this guy. Ask this guy called ChatGPT. You can, for example, ask a party member in some campaign in a the TUI campaign died, but he is crucial to the plot, so I need an idea how to revive him in a cool way. Yeah, sorry for just the music playing. I think that my dad is constantly just trying to get me copyright struck for music. So, yeah. Oh yeah. He discovers a head song. Yeah. So over here you see you need to face trials set by the guardian of the hearthstone to revive the guy. See, it goes on and on and on. And it also explains why it chose that. See over here. All this guy needed to say is this. But it also set a reasoning behind it. So you can see if you get behind the reasoning or you want a different name or idea. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that you should definitely smash that subscribe button and smash in a bad way. Maybe. I don't know. My friend suggested that I say this. Anyways, guys, girls, and everything else, see you in the next video.